Hi guys, we're back. The plan before the break was I was going to do some detailing in the area that I blocked in earlier, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and block this in first, and then while that part is drying, then I can go back in here and work on that. Okay, so that's the new plan. And again, we got our grays here.
So you put some indigo in there?
Same mix, only indigo and some manganese violet, and then we're gonna get it to be more red.
Ooh, nice color. So this is session 5 continued. We started about an hour ago, a little bit over an hour ago on the first session of session 5. So we're continuing on with the mountains. And Roy made some changes in his mountain range so that
As
we could
usual.
have something new to look at.
As usual.
This piece is evolving over time.
Yep, which is what you want. Oh, okay, I like that. All right, let's do it.
Ooh, it's a nice big area. You got some big strokes.
Yeah, well.
Whoa, it's precedented. Unprecedented? My husband tells me never to speak out loud. I guess I know why.
No, you need to practice.
I think he got that saying from you.
What?
It is better to be silent.
No.
What is it? You know which one it is,
I
right?
know, but that's not mine.
And open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yeah,
It's better to be
yeah.
silent
Well,
and look like the
it's-
fool.
It's been attributed to many people. I just stole it somewhere. It's better to be silent than to be thought of as a fool than to speak up and leave no doubt.
Yep,
That's the one.
they like using that on me.
Okay, well, you gotta practice.
We have some extra noise outside today. I think are the gardeners here.
No, they're crushing cans.
Oh.
So this part here is, somewhat boring for a lot of people because all you're doing is you're covering an area, but it's important, right? Your base is very, very important. This will act as like the shadow, right? Because your light is behind the mountain. So this is an important step. Not all the important ones are exciting, but they do have a role to play. So you got to learn to be excited about it for the right reasons. You may not get the feedback that is exciting, but you know the fact that this is important, that makes it exciting. If you don't do this correctly, the rest of it won't come off nicely. So take your time and do it right. Don't rush it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the, if you got a medium-sized brush, depending on the size of the area that you're trying to cover, this is also a good time to practice your brush strokes. Yeah, which is what I'm doing right now. Okay, that's looking good. We're going to Kauai when?
We're gonna go to Kauai Thursday morning.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. Now my buddy wants to visit. I gotta tell him we're not.
So ultimately, you just start mixing everything together, getting closer and closer, taking over the other colors.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yep. Coming together. That's you.
I'm calling you?
No,
Oh,
that's you.
decline. Child. Her father's home. There's no reason she would need to call me.
Well, if she's trying to get the right answer, she'll call
Yeah, well, that's true. Which is why I will be skipping that call. Sorry, kid.
Let's see, where do I get a yes? Oh, yeah.
When are you coming home? I want to go to baseball.
Was it Jack?
No, that's Reagan. I mean, Abby.
Oh. I kind of drew this line over here to just see how far the glow is going to be, but I that's the arc of the glow. So from that point on, I'll start working that in.
So the sun
It's
is
right
right there, and it glows all directions, up and out.
Well, you know, like a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
It emanates from the center, and but you know, some part I'm making it more obvious, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna make it a little bit lighter, a little redder. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I like it. That's that band.
Now, I didn't notice, did you put your hands on the canvas on your blue painting to steady it, or?
No.
Okay,
Only if it's bouncing.
okay,
So yeah, it's again, everything has a purpose, right? So by putting pressure on the canvas, it makes everything tighter, and then it won't bounce. Like from here, it's all tight, but if it's bouncing, it's like it's loose, yeah.
But how come that didn't happen on the other canvas? Did you not fill in a mass like that? On the blue one, I never
No,
noticed.
maybe the canvas is tighter.
Okay,
You're
okay.
just trying to make the canvas tight.
Got it.
So it doesn't bounce.
So you're working with what you have. It's not just because of a certain technique.
No. It's a way to get around something that's not in your favor, right? I mean, to have it bounce around while you're painting, that's not good, right? But if the canvas is already kind of taut,
Right.
and it's not bouncing, then you don't need to do that part. But just in case it's bouncing, now you know how to take that bounce away. And that's the thing about, when I would watch my uncles and those guys paint, not that I knew right away what they were doing, but I can recall what they were doing was to basically make things right when they're not right, So yeah, whatever it takes. But if you didn't know how to do that, yeah, okay, that would get in the way. That would make you pause to figure out, okay, well, how do I solve that? Well, in this case, if the canvas is loose, just press on it somewhere where you won't hurt it, and that will make the thing tighter. And then you're on your way. So I'm shifting the gray. It's kind of a reddish gray already anyway, but I'm making it more red as I get closer to the sun area, lighter and redder. Okay, that's the game plan. Now we get lighter a little bit and redder a little bit more. Just gradually doing that. Okay. Go a little bit more red.
Over time, would you restretch this canvas later or no need?
No, it's not really loose in the sense that it's waving like a flag in the air. It's just that when I'm putting my strokes down, it's with a little bit of force that you don't really do when you're just hanging the painting and looking at it. Right? Okay.
Oh, so I have a comment from Matthias.
Okay.
He said he loves my voice.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say thanks, Matthias. Thank you, Matthias. He said when he.
Can you go an octave lower?
Oh, I could. Give me a little tuberose, we can get down.
Uh-huh.
When I paint, I start from the background, working towards the foreground.
Right.
What is the benefit or reason you're doing this order you're doing?
Uh-huh. Good question. I started out like he did when I was first learning because that's the more traditional way. But by doing it that way, you need to let things dry before you can paint things on top of it, in front of it, yeah? And so I found that the old way requires a lot of drying time before I can even underpaint. So by doing it the way I do, I save time, so I can work faster. Okay. That's why.
Andrew Greenberg is on.
Hey Andrew, how's it, brah?
He was wondering if we were open in Kauai.
No,
Getting there.
we're trying.
That was nice. That was the first time I met Evan Schaus.
Oh, really?
In Lahaina. I'd never met him in person.
I see.
Yeah.
That's why it's a good idea, yeah, to go
Oh, yeah.
and be in each other's energy and space.
So he was telling me a little bit about his new studio,
Uh-huh.
why it's taking a little longer to set it up.
Uh-huh.
And he'd been working from his hot shop that he invented, the mobile studios.
Uh-huh.
So with the mobile studios, you can only run the heat for so long. So once he heats it up, he works as much as he can in one day, but it takes about 2 days to temper it down before he can get back to work. And the new studio doesn't have enough electricity right now to run his furnaces. So he's waiting on the landlord to return from a trip to get that, I guess, hooked up with more power so he can go back to status quo and have people help him and build the bigger pieces. But he's got some gorgeous pieces, the turtle and the whales. He had 3 really nice whales in there, and turtle, and the shells and the vases, and it was really nice to see him and talk to him about the work.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It's really good.
I agree. Little feathering. Okay. Should probably do the rest of the mountains too. Let's do that.
I love these colors.
Yeah. Thanks.
And I haven't seen a messy palette in a while. I like the messy palette. It's got stuff. It looks like we paint. It's not just one little perfect, clean little spot.
Oh no. And it kind of tells you how, kind of related everything is, yeah?
Yeah. can see the difference of the background to what you have in the foreground, the mountain range, so you can see all the light.
Oh, here?
Parts. Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the glow, right? So we're trying to lay down the glow part in anticipation for the final product that we're gonna have. Just trying to blend that in. Maybe now a little more yellow. Okay. Let's soften it up a little bit with some feathering.
Just like a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm. Yep, soften it. Yep. Much difference. And let's finish off the mountains here.
A whole lot of dimension in this one.
We're trying to convince people of depth is a Kind of like what you're supposed to do subject matter of this nature, so that they can get into it. Do a little bit of feathering there. Okay. And what we should probably do is go ahead and put in the mist blowing off the top of the wave.
Is that the same color or a tiny bit lighter?
Tiny bit light. You're getting good. You're getting good. Just added a little light to it.
I must have got some good sleep today. My eyes
Something.
my eyes can see.
You're using both your eyes this time.
I'm sure the viewers are like, check out the palette. It's lighter.
Is it
It's
as
real
part of yours
obvious.
lighter? Yeah.
But
What gave it away?
It doesn't. You don't know what camera I'm looking in, so that's where I wasn't looking on the palette, but I can see it now.
It's all clear now.
Coming into focus.
It doesn't have to be drastic. Yeah. Okay.
Here we go. I got some comments I finally registered in here. We have Debbie from Ireland is on with baby Tallulah.
Yeah, I told her this painting is the working name of it is Baby Tallulah.
Oh, I love it.
Until we come up with a real title for it,
Oh.
it shall be affectionately known as the Baby Tallulah painting.
I love it.
See?
I love it. I love it. Matthias says, what a lovely glow.
Thank you, Matthias. Appreciate it.
Oh, Linda's on, and she noticed how quiet we were today.
Mary Jean's not here.
But we'll add music to our YouTube channel, and we'll be working on. We'll have music for Friday. We just our background's really quiet. We don't have any background sound.
Yeah, well, because of copyright laws.
Yeah. So by Friday, I'll have some music that we can listen to in the background.
Okay. Okay, fine.
I will get us some. I will subscribe to the media.
No choice.
Matthias would be worried. He says, I wouldn't dare to put details over such a marvelous glow.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, Matthias. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. One way or the other, you're gonna learn something.
That is true.
I hesitate a lot of times for this exact same reason that you cited. But I also know that by not doing that, by not forging ahead, I basically stifled my growth. So we can't have that part, right? So you basically, you got no choice. You got to take a chance. One way or the other, it's going to teach you something.
Scumble or feather?
Feather. Scumbling is when you're trying to put color on there. Feathering is you're softening it up. So you can scumble and then feather.
Scumble and feather.
But the feather and then scumble? No, that's it shouldn't be.
The backwards.
Don't do that. Don't do
The
that.
backwards.
Okay. Some more.
On a Friday in Lahaina, Roy sold a painting, 12 by 16 horizontal, that was of a, what would you say, like a landscape scene. It's all the green.
Kind of a
Mountain.
no. It's kind of a brook through a forest, kind of a thing.
So it had all this detail of all the greens. It was really pretty, and then he had just a touch of light green to brighten it. It was really, it's a pretty piece.
The idea is that it's pretty much in the shadows, except for shafts of light that kind of penetrated through voids in the canopy, and it'll hit certain spots. It's always that's not a new thing, but it's always an interesting thing to witness in real life. Pockets of light.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really interesting that the guy that bought it had gone to Kauai, when I was just first getting going, and he immediately took a liking to the work, and he also wanted to move over there, kind of similar to my story of having that feeling initially of like making Hawaii my home, because it felt as if it was my home, even though I hadn't spent any kind of time and put in any energy in it. It was just an initial reaction to it. And so he had the same thing, except that I made my move 2 years later, and it took several years for him to, he had more stuff to deal with than I did, but so eventually he was able to do that. But in the meantime, he just kept adding to his collection of my work, because according to him, it was what sustained him and inspired him to keep going and keep working towards being able to move to Hawaii. And so he was finally able to do that. But he was sharing that story with me, because that was very similar to how I got started here. Yeah, it was awesome. Great story. And I bet everybody's got, that's live here now, has got some version of that. Okay, so we've got that underpainted. I'll probably, I probably should do something to that mountain over there, and I think I will. Giving this last mountain a little bit of definition, so it's not so flat looking, but you can see that the definition is not very significant, so there's not a high contrast of it, just nice and soft, just to take it away from being flat. And on top of that, we're going to feather it some, so it's going to get even softer, like so. We can add on to that later on if we want. Okay. So now, let's take another little break.
Okay.
We'll see you in about 5 minutes or so.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
All righty. Give it a chance to set.
All right, and we are back from our short break.
We are back. Okay. What do we? Oh, that's you.
I think they're gone. So you are going to be working on.
Well, the first part that I blocked in, we're gonna work on that, and oh, that's pretty good. I like that. And we're gonna do some detail work on that. But this is the part of the mountain that's not really getting hit by the sunlight, so it's not gonna be bright.
So you're using green.
Yeah, the chromium green, part of the mix that I had over here, just freshened it up because I need more paint. One of the ways to get that green the way you like is you start out with the dark that you already used, right, and then just lighten that up and then add some color to it.
There you go.
Right, and then once you put it on there, obviously it has to be lighter than what you have. Like so. And you know, you don't have very many gaps of that dark. Because this is really far away, right? And so your details have to be a little tighter, otherwise it's not going to read correctly. Tiny strokes. You know, you're still mindful of your shadows. You still want to do that. Again, a lot of the stuff will get better the more you work and practice all these things that you guys are picking up from these sessions. It's quite unrealistic to think that you're going to get it on the first attempt, but if you do, good for you. But the real thing is not to just get it right that one time. You got to get it right every time, right? So that's where the practice part is invaluable. Okay, so the whole thing got kind of lighter, yeah, so that's good. So even though the shadows were really, really dark earlier, knowing that I'm gonna do this to it, it made it okay to start a little on the darker side. And that edge gets a little bit softened up, right? Remember that your sharp edges attract attention, so you don't want a lot of attention here. Basically, you were able to add texture to it. Like so. And for this one here, we use a tinier brush. do this part right here. Green. Warming up the green with some orange.
Somebody from Australia.
Hello.
I think her name is Marie, M-A-R-E-E, Murray Liaros.
Okay.
So she is new to us.
Welcome. Just adding more definition to these areas so that it's not flat looking. But you don't want to overdo it because, you know, it's not the star of the show, yeah?
How do you know if you make it the star of the show by accident?
How do you know if you did that by accident?
Yeah.
Well,
It's just too intense.
Well, it's taking up all the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's getting too much attention and you didn't mean for that to happen, okay, then yeah, you did it wrong. But that's why it's nice to have a plan, right? So that's kind of like a check on yourself, so you don't get carried away. You know, you just keep it in mind all the time. Okay, just take it easy. Okay.
It's looking good.
Getting there. Okay. I think that's it for now.
All right.
Okay.
It looks good.
Getting there. Getting there. Okay, gang. So we'll see you guys on Friday.
Yep.
All right. Okay. And then you know what time?
Do you want to make it like 8:45? Is that good?
You're the
for you?
one coming from
Okay.
so far. So
Yep. Less traffic on summertime.
Up to you. It's
Okay.
whenever you say.
Okay. Yeah, because we can film longer when we get up here earlier.
Okay. So what? 8:45?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys got some good tips and that could help you. Otherwise, if you got some other questions, make sure you write them down and save them till we see each other next time. Thanks, Ann, for all your help. Appreciate it.
Sure.
And we will see you in a few.
All right.
Aloha. Bye.